crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to part 5 of my Zany Zoo workshop series. We're going to create a gatefold card. It's pretty easy. Those of you who come to my late night crafting session can do this live with me. And those of you that just want to follow along later, all the measurements will be out on this grid paper. All right, let's get started by sharing what Zany Zoo is all about. I'm excited because this is such a fun series, and this is the stamp set, and I've already played with, we've played with the llama, the raccoon, the leopard, the turtle last time, I believe it was, and then now we're playing with the skunk, and then next time we'll play with the alligator, and I have examples of all of these to show you for finished projects. My workshop series always consists of a bundle. In this case, it's a die set, really awesome die set that comes with this bundle of stamp set, and then the Zoo Crew Designer Series paper. We're also going to be playing with this ribbon tonight. It's the Ribbon Duo Combo Pack. This is the suite of products. If you'd like to get these products, I don't know how you could not already have these products if you like Stampin' Up. But if you don't already have these cute products, this is how you place an order. There's usually a host code on my website. There should be a current host code, I should say. That's where I keep the graphic. Enter that host code and you'll be entered into the drawing. However, if your order is $150 or more, do not use the host code because you can earn rewards, Stampin' rewards, which is 10% of your order. All right, so I'm going to take out the skunk. I've already done that. We're going to just stamp the skunk, and then we're going to die cut out the skunk. And we'll go ahead and do 2 of those just in case we mess up. Now, every page of the Zoo Crew paper has at least one die. Or no, it has one die, not at least. It has actually one die that you could cut out the critters from. So what I think would be fun to do, well, we'll still stamp it. Let's go ahead and still stamp it twice. I'm just inking up with a little Memento black ink because we're going to use some blends to color these critters, these skunks here. Memento black is good for coloring because you can use the alcohol markers and it won't smear once you've used Memento black ink because it's a hybrid ink. All right, now let's see. We have, you know, I may have some skunks because this is the project I'm showing you. It's this paper here, so it has the flowers. The projects I'm showing you are something I did for my recent series. Here you go. Oh, there's no full skunk on that page. I may have flowers in here that have the scrap on it, but possibly not because I've used up. I'm having a bingo event with my Zany Zoo, and I think I've used up pretty much everything, all the scraps. But maybe we can cut one out. That's not my only pack of paper, but I'm not digging into my bingo stash right now because I'm shipping all this tomorrow, and I think I'm down to my last little pack. All right, but I'm getting more. So let's go ahead and put the little die cutting sandwiches base plate. Okay, that's plate number 1. Then when you're cutting metal dies, you need a base plate number 2, which is your thin die adapter. And then we need one of the number 3s for the bottom. We'll go ahead and use the plate number 3. I just had an event this weekend, and if you missed seeing all those projects from my 35th anniversary tea event, then you'll see some of the stuff I was cutting. Anyway, you need another plate number 4 for the top. I mean, another plate number 3. There is no plate number. There is a plate number 4, but not for that. So what you want to do next is you want to take your little die that goes on top of your stamped image, and you want to use a sticky note or something to hold it down. So you could take a sticky note or just some kind of washi tape, and you could tape it. Tape it like so it doesn't slip. Okay? And then you put the top die. I hope that doesn't slip. We're going to roll it through. Now the other pieces for the sentiment are already cut out for you. I've already cut those out with a different set, which I'll mention in a moment. Let's just see how this came out. Ooh, I love it, love it, love it. Okay, very nice. And we'll go ahead and do the other one. Now, while I'm usually cutting, I usually cut something extra. But just to save time, we're just going to cut the skunk. I usually like to cut banners and things. Now, there is a cute little banner that came with this set that you can use, but I just think the circle looks cute for my design. But if you only have the banner and you're following along and you didn't get my workshop kit, then just use whatever you have. That's what I always say. Stick around till the end of this video because you're going to see all kinds of stuff that you can create with the Zany Zoo workshop series. Just looking around. I'm just going to show you because I can't find a full skunk anywhere. But look what I mean. You could just cut out the skunk right from the paper. Saves yourself a lot of coloring, which is nice. But we don't need to do that because we already have our stamped image. Now, I'm going to show you my blends here. I tried coloring them in different ways, and I thought using just, there's 2 black blends. I'm going to show you the other one. I just thought it came out dark, even though it is a skunk, right? I still thought it would be nicer to use the dark smoky slate and the light black. So blends come in 2 colors. Like, for example, these are your 2 lemon lime twists. These are your 2 pool parties, light and dark. These don't go together. This is a light basic black, right? And this is a dark smoky slate. So what I did is I took and these 2 go together. This is a light basic black and a regular basic black. But what I did is, and I'll just tell you as I'm coloring because I like to talk and get coloring. This is actually the light basic black, but look how dark it is, right? It's very dark. Now when you're coloring, I like to use the darker on the edges. And then I go with the lighter and kind of pull in the colors. When you're using alcohol markers, they dry quickly. So even though I want to color the tail right now and everything, while I have this black marker out, it just seems to be easier if I only color little sections at a time. So let's now take the dark smoky slate. And you see how dark that is? It's almost like a light black. So that's why I'm using dark smoky slate and light black to color my skunk. Because I just thought it came out cute. And then I added some glitter, wink of Stella. And just so you can see what I'm talking about, this is how it came out. And you, of course, color black. Whatever you have is what you're going to color. And if you're not sure how to color these critters, look at the ideas on the designer series paper. Because a lot of the critters are already colored and it gives you ideas on how to color. Now these will, as long as I get over to these edges and sort of color again over the edges, the colors will blend together. But it'll be harsh if I don't get in there while it's wet and sort of bring in the 2 colors by either pulling them in or by doing circular motions along the edge. Now I can go ahead and take, and there's a thin side and a thick side. I'm going to go ahead and do the next little section of the tail here. I probably won't color both skunks just because we're just going to make 1 card. But I like to have extras in case we mess up, and plus just having extra makes me feel better. Because then I have my bucket of crafty goodness. And I can keep extra little critters in it, ready for extra projects when needed. Oh, you don't have to color the white part. It's already colored for you. I mean, it's already white, so all you do is add some glitter. I'm going to go ahead and put this back, the smoky slate and the basic black. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make the little bird on top of his head pool party, because pool party is one of the coordinating colors in the suite. So I just colored the whole bird dark, pool party, except for the wing. I made the wing of the bird light pool party. Then I had just these other markers sitting over here. And I just used them for very, very quickly. I said, okay, well, since one of the coordinating colors is petal pink, I made the nose petal pink. Since lemon lime twist is one of the colors in the suite, and because the markers are, not the markers, I'm just doing this with the thin. Now you have a lot more control over these. You can use this or this. I'm going to go ahead and use this as well. You can use blends or markers. These are both fine to use, but sometimes the markers give you a little bit more control when you have such a tiny area. I'm making the binoculars lemon lime twist. Okay? Everything else is white. So everything that's white, the claws, etc., you could just take your wink of Stella and color those in. So let's zoom in. You can see that. The glitter brush here. Just go like that. And color your white part first because you don't want anything to smear. So cute. And I'm going to make the little beak of the bird yellow by using This Daffodil Delight. Just a tiny bit. Little things matter. And then after I do that, I do the claws. And now I go in and do the other white part. Then I go in and do all the black part because I didn't want the black part to smear onto the white part. But I want the whole thing to have glitter on it. So I just do the white parts first. Now, it really, black doesn't smear that much, but reds, when you have red blends, they tend to smear a lot. All right, so there we go. I'll show you that on a sticky note so you can see it for contrast. Hopefully you can see that there's sparkly Wink of Stella on there. So we're done that part. Now let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And because I'm going to put a little bit of edging, let's go ahead and do that first because we don't want to do it once the sentiment is on there. Let me zoom back out. Okay, we're going to take, this is the pool party. Actually, this is, my brush tip's kind of messed up. So I'm just going to use the fine tip. So I'm just going to do like half of it in dark and half of it in light. The reason I'm putting an edge around this little guy is because when you try to put a white sentiment on a white background, designer series paper that's white, there's not enough contrast. So I wanted to outline it in the pool party. So I'm just using pool party blends, light and dark. And on the edges, I'm blending the two together. See, while they're wet. And then I'm just going to do light. So if you're wondering, where does this little guy come from? Where does this... She's always using this. You'll see I'm always using this die. I got it from the mini pocket envelope dies. So there's a little library pocket. And in there, there's this little tiny sentiment, and I really like it. Hopefully I don't need the silicone mat. We'll try it without. Sometimes it's good to stamp on the rubber silicone mat. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love when the stamps just work. All right, what else? Let's start cutting parts. We are on a mission. Let's see. We're going to... So anyway, mini pocket envelope. I'm just going to kind of show you that real quick. And then we'll move on to the next part. So I like to tell you the products I'm using. So this is not part of the regular. But again, when I give a workshop kit, the next one will be Beautiful Balloons workshop series. And when I do a kit, you get all these extra little pieces that you need for your projects. Hey, did it retire? It may have. So it was in your kit. I don't know, guys. It looks like it retired. I can't find it in the back of the catalog. But there's a shape like here that didn't retire that you can also use. It's just slightly bigger, and it's called All That Dies. I'm just looking and seeing if I have any of those in my bucket of crafty goodness. So that one is fine to use. And also, this is the one that you can also use. But look how big that is. Look how much bigger. And this is the one that comes in the Zany Zoo workshop series. Oh, and if you want to add some trees and stuff, you can add some trees and color them like we did for another with the raccoon card. All right, so let's, and clouds and things like that. Why did I think, oh, you know what? Okay, let me go see if there's any comments here. Maybe you guys can help me out. Can someone look on the website? Okay, I'm going to say hi to you guys. And I want to see if any of you wouldn't mind looking on the website because I think maybe the dies are now an online exclusive item because I can't find them in the catalog, but it doesn't mean they're not there. So hello, Lala's Crafts, who is Phyllis. Hello, Charlene, who's new to my lives. Thank you for coming on. And hello, Melissa from Texas. And Lori from Ohio. Maybe one of you guys, late nighters, could see. If these mini, they're called, I'll just write the name, mini pocket envelope dies. All right, it's not part of the project. I'm just writing it over here. So somebody let me know if they are still available. Because I love them and I always promote them. All right. Now, let's write about the measurements. We're about to make a gatefold card. So you're going to go like this, and you're going to make a card that is 11. Oops. Sorry, scratch that, scratch that. Let's go down here. We're going to make a card that's 11. And it's like this, not like that. Okay, so it's a gatefold. 11 inches, 2 and 3/4, 8 and 1/4. Okay, that's how you make your gatefold card. And it's 11 inch, and then it's going to be 4 1/4 high. All right, so I already have this part done for you. Just to make it quick, because, you know, late night crafting session, we've done the black. We're going to do the scoring part. I'm going to take out the simply scored, lay it here, and show you what I mean. So we have, there's the 8 1/4, and there's the 2 3/4 mark. Okay, so you could go, so 2 3/4, 8 1/4. Now, one way you could do it to just try to remember is sometimes if you just want to do one side, you could just open up your paper and you could just do 2 3/4, and then you could turn it around and do 2 3/4 again. And that would be the same thing, and it would only be one measurement to remember. So this paper is 11 inches long, 11 inches by 4 1/4. Okay, so I wrote that on your thing. So now you're going to take your spatula, your little, I like to flip them over after you do your card. So flip it over like that. So we scored down into it with the stylus, but then we flip it over. So we have a valley, but we flip it over. Now we have now we're going to be folding it like this. So it's like a mountain. Hello, Janet. Nice to see you, late night crafter. Late night crafters, come and join us. Hello, Dawn from Washington. Windby Island, I've never been there. I've been to the San Juan Islands. Is it near that? All right, so you see how, what I'm doing is I'm using, thank you so much, Lori, 159. Okay, let me write this down, 167, because I was looking all over for it. Thank you so much. 159. You guys need this. I mean, if you don't have them. Because I needed to make sure before I showed you something that I'd shown this the other day, but let's digress for a second. Look at how cool this is. You can not only use the little mini pocket envelope dies for this little guy that we just stamped that's somewhere here. Not only for this little guy, right? But look, you can make baskets out of them. So we're going to be doing this in the next workshop series. We're making baskets, little birthday baskets. Is that cool or what? All out of the mini pocket envelope dies. So I'm so glad that they're still available. I mean, I thought they were because someone said it, but then I was like, just making sure. All right, back to this. We got the gatefold card. Now we need to start layering up this card. So we're going to lay this here. Right, isn't that clever? I love it. Hi, Anna from Australia. Nice to see you. I know it is clever, right? It's clever to make, and there's directions in here. So we're going to case it. Here, let's give the credit. Kathy Morgan, it's one of my swaps. So we're going to case her swap. And then what I'm going to do is put these in your, I don't know what color, but I'm going to put it in your kit so we can case her project. All right, let's now take out my scraps. And now that I take out the scraps, I'll probably find the darn skunk I've been looking for. Put in that paper. So what I'm doing now is just taking out little, we're going to do, we need pool party, we need petal pink, we need some scraps. I shall try to find it. And earlier I put in the inside, I put a piece of pool party on the inside, but you could also put a piece of just basic white on the inside. It's up to you. I may have to improvise. I'm trying to find a piece of petal pink here. All right, here we go. So now I got a little courage piece here. So we need a piece of pool party and we need a piece of petal pink. You could cut 2 pieces of cardstock at once, but don't try to cut 3. So let's think about this. You got to look at this and just, you don't have to go, oh, I'm so confused. How is there layering? No, you're not confused because all you got to do is keep shaving off a 1/4 inch each time. So let's just think about this logically. I know I have a pen. I shouldn't use a marker. You guys are cringing. Don't use a marker. So I'm going to just draw this out for you. Push this up here like this. So you're going to go like this. This is your layer, and then the next one will be, a little bit smaller. So look, this is the corner. This is the part. It's 4 inches high, so we need a 4-inch layer, 1/4 inch smaller. It's 2 3/4 inch wide, this little section. So we need a 2.5 inch section. That's it. Don't overthink this. We're just trying to get 1/4 inch smaller. You're just building layers that are 1/4 inch smaller. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put these two together. Move them over. And we need to go 2.5. And I just picked Pool Party and Petal Pink because they were coordinating colors. That's the only reason. For no other reason. You could use Lemon Lime Twist here or more Designer Series paper. And then we need them to be 4 high. Okay, let's check them. The reason I like to cut those two together is they look better when you cut them together. I'm putting the Petal Pink over here. Because there's another reason. This is a design thing too. Another thing about designing cards. If you have little critters, you want them pointing toward the scene. And this goes for photography too. It doesn't just go for, it goes for photography and card design. You want the critters pointing toward. So this is your card and this is the center and the skunk's pointing that way. He's already, so I'm having him like pointing inwards. And I think if he was on that side, over on this side of the card, he'd be pointing out to the nowhere, to pointing to nothing, right? So that's the reason I put him over that side of the card. And so that's the reason I put these colors where I did. To kind of balance out. I put the little bit of, I could put him on a different color, but I thought he looked better on the black. And the sentiment looked better on the flowers. So it's and I'm just using tear and tape, but maybe for the next layer, I'll use Seal Plus. Just use whatever you want for your adhesive. You can even use glue when you're using cardstock. It doesn't get lumpy because this is good, like Stampin' Up! Cardstock. The glue doesn't get too lumpy if you use Tombow glue. So let me just kind of get on my tiptoes for a moment and look at that layer. Make sure it's centered. Okay, good. I know a lot of you guys like to use what's called the Take Your Pick tool, but I'm just peeling it off with my fingernails right now. I kind of prefer that method for this kind of thing. Now we need the next layer, just logically, 1/4 inch smaller. Now, if you want to do 1/8 of an inch, that's fine, but I like to use 1/4 inch layers because I like to be able to see my layers. So I'm going to put white in the inside, but on this one I put Pool Party on the inside. So next layer, we're just going to go 1/4 inch smaller. We're going to go 2 1/4. Right? By 3 3/4. Okay? And we're going to use the DSP this time. We're going to use 2 kinds of DSP. This one, actually we'll use that scrap. And I have this big piece here, so we're going to use these 2. Again, I like to cut them at the same time because they're across from each other. If they're not across from each other, it doesn't matter if I cut them at the same time. But they're a little off when you don't cut them at the same time when they're across from each other. So now we're going out 3. We probably don't even have 3 3/4. Yeah, we do. We'll just do this side first. We're going to do the 2 1/4 side first. Because of the way my pattern is on this paper, you're going to see what I'm talking about in a second. All right. So I did that side first, the 2 1/4 side, because look at the way I want the pattern. I like these little waves to go that direction. Now you double check before you get too far and keep cutting your paper. Double check that you have your 1/4 inches. Okay, good. Looks good to me. By 3 3/4. Now we're going to color a few of these flowers to give them a little bit of pizzazz. But not now. We're not going to color these flowers now because if you do, you won't know where to put the sentiment. You have to wait till you put see, look, the ribbon and the sentiment have to get on there first before you know where the flowers are. If you start coloring flowers, you might end up covering them up anyway and wasting your time coloring the flowers. And then either way, you could decide if it's an aquatic animal, you might want to make it like a wave, like little waves of the ocean, like, going up that way. But if, it doesn't matter which way you put it, right? I just put it that way. I just thought it looked cute because there was a little pattern on the top. But you could just decide how you put your pattern. It's your card. You decide. Now, if you're kind of like short on paper and you might want to cut your critters out sometimes before you cut out a lot of layers, but this one you can't really cut anything out of the center of it because all you have on there is this little skunk. Okay, and you can decide which way does the little flowers go, like here. Does it go better? The pattern is unidirectional, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I so love this suite. It's just so whimsical and cute. Okay, make sure you see what I'm doing here. I'm just centering the paper. That's all I'm doing. 2 hands, 2 hands. Okay, good. I'm just zooming back out. All right, so there we go. Now, let's do our little layout. So I told you I have the piece of white for the inside. And we already talked about mini pocket envelope dies. And what else? We don't need this paper. We don't need anything else over here. Okay, I'm putting all this on the floor because this is already cut. So you're going to need a piece of vellum from your kit. And I already have one cut for you. Okay, so these are called the basic vellum layering designs. And for this one, I use the little ones with leaves. But you have a little scrap here. And so you don't need the one with the leaves. You could just use the one with the dots. And I do have my little notepad to write. I did write that down. Hey, I found my black pen. I was like, I knew I had a black pen. So maybe we can kind of go over these measurements a little bit with the black pen so you can see that better. 1/2, 3 1/4. Okay. That's all. I was like, where's my black pen? All right, so vellum. You got a little piece of vellum, and it is 3 inches high by 1 1/2 inch vellum. And it's called the Basics Vellum Layering Designs. And let me go ahead and put this piece on the inside. You don't have to stamp anything on this. I'm just putting your white piece on the inside. And this one is inside layer. Your regular layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4. All right, so inside 5 1/4 by 4 inches basic white. All right, so you got all your measurements. Take a screenshot. There you go. Take your screenshot now. I always tell you when to take your screenshot. I think you have all the measurements you need. You know, because the ribbon, we just wing it. I don't really have the measurements written down. I just wing it. Put a little bit of adhesive on there, but not too much because it's only where the skunk's going to be. So I only put a little bit of adhesive because I was trying to give the skunk contrast. But you see how you can see the adhesive through there? Just put a little bit because, look, you're going to cover it up with the skunk. I'm even going to tilt him a little bit. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can get a little bit off. There we go. See, now I don't have to tilt him. I just lifted a little bit so you can't see that. You're hiding the adhesive. I'm just going to pop him up with dimensionals. She's like, add to my list, right? Lori's like, my list keeps getting longer. I know. Hey, welcome to the club. I just went to an event and I saw all these displays. And then I was like, now I like the fishing set. Now I like the Countryside Inn. And now I like look what they did with this and that. Yeah, I was the same way. I know how it is. Okay, so you're putting him over there. And then the vellum is sort of like dangling. It's still there. It's secure, but it's just like a nice little floating sort of layer. But it's secure. It's not going anywhere because that one little strip of adhesive behind it. Now we're ready to build the other side. And we're just going to take some ribbon. This is called the Ribbon Duo Pack. Now what I like to do is just sort of, I like to put some adhesive here like this, right? Some Seal Plus. And then I just like to just cut some ribbon at an angle. You can always make it shorter, right? I just like to put them together. I think they're easier to cut when they're together. Something like that. I'm just going to get my little snips. All I can find is like a pair of kitchen shears. Here we go. Here's my snips. I saw a pair of like in my drawer. I'm like, that's not the ones. I'm just cutting at an angle. Oops. And I should have cut this one at the same angle. It's easier to cut both together, I find. All right, so you probably want to know, how big is your ribbon? Well, you know what? It's probably easier. I think I need it to be bigger. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to tell you how big it is, because I don't know how big it is. I just kind of eyeball it. So let's see. I'm going to think that that's a good size for my ribbon. All right, so let's see how big that is. 0 to, okay, 2.5 inches. Okay, ribbon's 2.5 inches. So put the ribbon there. Get the little bit of adhesive in the middle. And then you see how when you put your seal there, there's extra room for the, you can actually put both pieces of ribbon right on the same piece of adhesive, which is very nice. And it covers all your adhesive, except I want my angle of the ribbon to go the same way. There we go. See what I mean? I want the angle, the way that was angled, the same direction. These just extra texture to your card. Kind of fun. Ooh, I like it. Now, pop up the sentiment, which we have somewhere. Looking for my sentiments. Where are you? I don't want to have to make you again. I mean, I will if I have to, but I don't want to have to make you again. Oh, that was that other one I was talking about. Let's put you back over here. So first thing I'm doing from now on when I look for something is I look through the camera, because sometimes you guys are like, I see it. I know where it's at. All right, I haven't gone anywhere, and I just made my sample today. So if we can't find it, we just have to make another one. Okay, not on the floor, not under the mat. We don't want to waste time, but I have to finish the card, so we have to just do this. We could waste time looking for it or just do it again. But before I do all the coloring, I think I should stamp the sentiment. Hold it for 3 seconds. All right, cool. All right, the lid of that just went somewhere. I'm just kind of blending them in the corner, making the top of it light. Hopefully I don't have too much ink on my hands. All right, see, that wasn't so bad. We made another one pretty quickly. And we need some bling, and we need to color our leaves, and then we're done. So let's find the dimensionals. We're going to take 2 dimensionals and pop those on there. And now, after we pop them on, we know where to color. So center that. See, and now we can figure, okay, like let's take the petal pink. I like to use the marker for this because the marker is really fine, like that. And you could see, I just want to, I could use a blend. Well, I don't need to use a blend, but I'm saying if you do use a blend, you're going to see that the blends are not as dark as the marker, but you just have much more control with the marker. That's why it's kind of fun to have blends and markers. I love my colors. I love having options for coloring. How many did I color? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to use an odd number, color an odd number. All right, 1, 2, 3. Here, let's do this one right here. So petal pink. And then we're going to take our lemon lime twist. I know it doesn't look like lemon lime twist, but the older markers are a little bit lighter than these markers. And I'm going to use the fine side. You could use your blend, your Stampin' blends. That would work, but they don't have as much control as these markers have with the fine tip. That's what I love about the markers, is this fine tip. And I could color any leaves I want, but I'm only coloring the leaves for the flowers I colored. Now you're going to take some bling. I like to add a little bling to my card. So bling, bling. This is just some rhinestone basic jewels. These come in your workshop kit. Let's stick one right there. Okay, so I'm putting 3, but you could put 5. And then I'm just taking a piece of, let me move this because I'm getting nervous about this sitting here. It's going to get like all over my cards when I show you the cards. I'm just going to end with a piece of twine. I'm not ending the video, so don't go anywhere. I'm just ending this card making session with how we wrap this with a piece of twine. And we're going to put this little guy somewhere where we don't lose it. So we're going to look for, I'm just looking for a little piece of twine or something to tie. Or I'm just thinking if I could, I was just thinking maybe I could use this, but it'd be kind of thick. I'd rather use the linen thread. I'm going to tell you how long it will be either way. All right. I really do have everything when I start out. I don't know what happens in that little bit of time between when I start out and when I end the video. It's like everything just gets like engulfed all over my table and nothing. I can't find anything anymore. All right, so let's just say, I'm not going to do the twine because you get the idea. I just want to tell you about how big. So let's say that this is 8 inches. And so this is 16 inches. And I'm just seeing if that would be long enough to give you an idea. I'm not actually going to tie it with this. I want you to use the linen thread. Nope. I'm going to say 18 inches, okay? About 18 inches of this linen thread. And that's how you could tie, you can put this around your gatefold card to keep it closed. And that is the project. So we'll write that down. 18 inches of twine or linen thread. And we said 2.5 inches. I don't know if we wrote this already, of ribbon. And now for this one, I'm going to go ahead and untie it. So you can see I put the pool party inside. But you can, of course, put petal pink inside, or lemon lolly would be a cute color. Lemon lime twist, I mean. You don't want to use lemon lolly, although it's a coordinating color, because you don't have any lemon lolly in this project, but you could use lemon lime twist on the inside, petal pink, or in this case, the white on the inside. So we'll see if there are any questions. Now what I want to show you is what we made in the other part of the series. You are going to be amazed at what my team members have also donated to my cause here of my Zany Zoo product showcase that we just had in Aiken, South Carolina, because that was my, I'm doing this at an angle because this glare on the camera right over there, the ring light. We had a product showcase. It was pretty cool. And someone did Cheerful Daisies, and someone did Countryside Inn, and someone did Let's Go Fishing. And another person did the ink colors. Anyway, we have so many samples to show you. So first of all, this was the card that I made for the group, or I didn't make, I designed for the group. One of my gems is missing, but it's called an easel fold card. And this is what they did, is their make and take for the Zany Zoo. And I die cut these out of the nested labels dies. And then I embossed with the basics embossing folder. So this is nested labels, and basics embossing folder. And all the rest is designer series paper. Lemon lime twist card base and petal pink and lemon lolly. All right, you are in for a treat. Let's see all the different projects. Okay, I'm not doing these in any order, but I'll give you credit when it's your turn. If I show a project of yours, I'll try to give you credit. This is made by Linda Huffman, Stamp, Cut, and Create. She's one of the papered chefs. It is a sticky note holder. So what I'm doing is right now I'm showing, thank you, Lori, for your comment about explanations. This is a little sticky note holder, and it's also an easel fold card. Smaller easel fold than the one I did there. Okay. Now this one, I haven't shown. Kim Naverson, she sent this to me in the mail recently, and I love this. This is like the picture it dies, and I love what she did with the Zany Zoo and all the little critters. Absolutely love this. She sent this to me in the mail. I love that card. Okay, this one it was Rhonda Corkin, one of the paper chefs as well, one of my team members. She made this one with the basics 3D embossing folders and the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper. Okay, this is another one from Linda from Stamp, Cut, and Create. Linda Huffman. She made this cute little box and there's treats inside. Put some treats inside. Oh, and she put, here, look. Something great to celebrate you. You can put the sentiment inside the box. All right. Here's one from Janet. Janet Gillen. Janet's always here on our YouTube videos. And a little, like a lip gloss holder, a lip box. Super cute. Okay. Here are ones from Kay. Kay Jute is another paper chef. She made these really cute pins that you can wear with the cute little animals on them for my product showcase. So there's a little skunk that she colored and then the turtles. Super cute. Jean Talamelli, she's another paper chef. She made a magnetic sticky note holder case. It was super cute with the juggling koala bear. Okay, this one I need to put a critter on. This is the purse I made after I casing another paper purse. And I made my 3D swap like that. We also made these in the series. I'll show you in a little bit. I haven't even got to the ones we made in the series yet. Okay, here's another project by Janet. She made a really cool box with this, and she inked, I love how she inked this box with the designer series paper. Okay, this is more from the series. This is from the series. Oh, this is a glue box. I've already used your glue, Janet. So I'll just take out a glue and show you. It's a glue holder. Isn't that cute? Actually, it's more like this. Isn't that cute? A little glue box. And instead of casing the project, I can actually refer you to the demonstrator who shared that project. I can share the link to that. So Janet's projects were awesome, and she gave me that box, this card, this box here, and the lip balm holder. Okay, so a lot of my team gave me more than one project. All right, now before I show you what I have in my series, I still have some more. These were from Dina from the Creativity Cave. These were some swaps I received on my trip. Basics 3D embossing folder and another sticky note holder. This one didn't have a name on it. A German demonstrator. Look at how cute with the little alligator. You can pull it through. Hi, Anna. All right, just so fun. Love it. Okay, and here's some of my ScanNCut ones. I'm just trying to show you the ones other people donated to me here. This one is Rosemary Gonzalez, and it's a cute little like tag holder, and this thing comes out. Maybe at the end of the series, like I could take things out a little better, take them out of the bags. And this is a Gatefold card from a French demonstrator, Katia Piccolier. And this is from Keisha Davis, one of the team members of mine. And she made a gift card holder with the Zany Zoo. Oh, here. It doesn't open up. I'm trying to open up a different way. It's like you open up and put the gift card in the pocket. Okay, and then these are ones I made with the ScanNCut. Or this one I made when I was unboxing. The die cuts out the alligator. So then I colored the wheels because the paper doesn't have colored wheels. And we did some other coloring on it. So this is one that we just made on the fly, just spontaneously when I was unboxing the suite way long ago. And then here's a couple I made during the ScanNCut tutorial where I showed you how you can also cut this pattern paper using your ScanNCut. So we cut some of the critters out using the machine, the ones that didn't cut with dies. All right, then I want to show you a couple more things. We have Kathy Schmidt. She's always on this channel too, always watching the videos. Maybe tonight's a little late for her. She probably has to work tomorrow. But isn't that cute? She made these gift card holders for me. Featuring Zany Zoo. Two different styles, colored a little bit different. I like how she colored the designer series paper. So they're cute. And then I'm going to show you what Linda and I made for the bingo that's coming up next Friday. So Linda from Stamp, Cut, and Create designed a bingo card for this coming bingo, June 23rd. And then, so we're going to be doing these live on Zoom, some bingo cards. And then I designed a couple more cards with Zany Zoo for our bingo, June 23rd. All right, so that was all just, I mean, if that wasn't fun enough, seeing all these projects, I'm going to show you what we made in this series. in this workshop series you just saw, down there somewhere is the Gatefold card. We also made these cute little turtle boxes, and on the same night we made the turtle boxes, we made turtle note cards. So look up that video about the turtle treat boxes and the turtle note cards. My sample this was my sample, and then after that I made this one, which I think improves upon the sample because I like the ribbon on that side better. And you can see how it's whimsical, and you can always use bling and ribbon on your projects. Okay, that was really cute. Here's the night we did the llama. This was my sample, but then I improved upon the sample in the video by embossing the layer of foil, rose gold foil. And you can see how I like using layering for my designs. You were given this piece of basic embossing folder already, but then I embossed one live, and that came out really cute. So that's the knitting llama. And you can see how I gave you some retired paper and what you could do with that retired paper. Flowers and more. By taking the same measurements in the design. And there's one Janet made with the paper, the retired paper. So you could just see how you could take the same pattern. All right, so that was turtles. We talked about turtles, skunks, and now let's talk about raccoons. Here's the raccoon cards we made in this series. We used the Stitch with Whimsy dies, but you were given this piece already stitched. The Stitch with Whimsy piece, it was already die cut for you. And that's pumpkin pie. So that was what we did in the series. And then we made one with the little dancing leopard. We made little paper purses. So if you want to, I think it was part 3, we made the paper purses. So if you want to know how to make these, just go back to the tutorial in the series where I cased another person's project and made these purses. So now you know what we've been making in this series. And it's not even over yet because we're going to make another project with the alligator. And that is all for now. I hope you enjoyed all this inspiration with Zany Zoo and that you give some of these projects a try. I want you to have a great night. And I'm not going to see you on here until next week sometime, where we will continue Zany Zoo. And maybe I'll even start my Card on Blue Card Club series because I'm mailing out all the Card Club kits. And those will be based on Circle Saying stamp set. That's all for now. This is the Papered Chef.